good, robots? My name is Lester. How y'all doing? Now, I created a new account because my old account nobody knew how to pronounce, and I wasn't feeling the name and all that. And my quality for my videos wasn't great, and then my narrations wasn't as good as I narrate today. And yeah, I started a lot. I just did a lot of stuff that I didn't like. So I was like, I'm gonna get something that's easy to say and something that everybody would like if I get like known and stuff. People won't be like, oh, that dude AstroTekk, he a bum. He don't know how to narrate, all that good stuff. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. And if you guys would like to help, that'd be great. But this is an argue match against R4EZG3AR, and he hit me up on YouTube and he was like, yo, we got a battle because SPB33 was like, yo, you gotta do this now, and he was second round for it, and I was like, all right, cool, because first round I didn't battle him because he was out of the town, out of the state, out of mine. So all that and that happened, and then we got this battle, and I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And I based this team around Prankster and Murkrow because I just wanted to see how good Prankster was in RU, because I never tried it before. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this now, and that's how this is gonna happen. So I send out Murkrow, and he sends out Gerudogon, and I go for the Feather Dance because his name kind of tells me that he's the Rocky Helmet Rough Skin, yeah, Rocky Helmet Rough Skin Dragon Tail set, which is horrible. And I never could find anything for it, so I just don't really care for it. I have to build a way around it. So he Dragon Tails me out into Basculin. Now Basculin gets Superpower as one of its new move tutor moves in Black 2 White 2, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try and use it, and I'm gonna see how much it does just this one time because I wanted to see how good it really was. And Basculin took about 1/3 of Gerudogon's health, and that's max defense. I mean, it's kind of good because I'm Life Orb and all that, but if I wasn't Life Orb, I would have probably did like a 1/8. Honestly, I'm joking. I don't really know, but he uses Glare and he misses, and I'm happy that he misses because late in the game you'll see this benefits me a lot. So I switch out just because if he Dragon Tails, I don't want to switch into Entei because I have nothing to touch him, so I'd have to either roar him out or switch out, and I didn't want to roar him out because negative priority, I wasn't with it. So I know I'm faster and my priority will go first, but I didn't want that to all go down, so I was like, alright, I'll just switch out so I could actually switch into something that was good. So he Dragon Tails, and then he switches me into Gaga's Wig, and this is like the start of horrendousness and bad luck. I go for the Sleep Powder and he goes for the Glare. Now I don't remember what Glare's accuracy is, but I think it's like 85 or something. He hits it. I'm like, alright, I'm gonna go for it again and I'm gonna see what happens. But he was like, yo, since I got that Glare, I feel like this is gonna be Haxy, which it was. He just stayed until I got the Sleep Powder off. So I missed the Sleep Powder again, and then he goes for Glare. He I don't know why he kept going for it. He was like, yo, I'm gonna stay in, but I don't know what other moves did he have that he wanted to use. Honestly, I don't really know. I'm gonna have to ask him. And yeah, I keep missing. I keep getting paralyzed. It's all just bad luck. And this sucks. This really does suck that I couldn't hit the Sleep Powder on like the second turn. And these turns wouldn't have happened if this happened. So it would have been a little less narrating, a little less trouble. But whatever. So I finally hit the Sleep Powder, and he switches out into Marcus just to scare me out, which he does. And when he switched in, I switched out because I knew for a fact, 100%, he was going to go into Marcus because he has 2 stabs that can utterly destroy Tangrowth and put him in Tank Dead, and I don't know. But anyway, I switch into Murkrow because I had a feeling he was either Life Orb set or he was a Choice Scarf set, but just to be safe, I T-Wave. And I just wanted to cripple his Moltres because I don't want it to be going like Hamon on my team, and not all my Pokemon outspeed it. So he goes for the Fire Blast, and I'm especially bulky, so I live that. If I was physically bulky, I'm pretty sure it would have been like an Oko from twice as much health I had. So I switch out into Entei. Now I'm thinking that he's gonna go for it again, so it's kind of good on my part that I switched into Entei because I didn't really have anything to switch into this Fire Blast. But if he would have missed, it would have been excellent. I wouldn't have had that much health. I would have had more health, sorry. Not as much as I do now, but I really don't know why he switched out. He could have went for Air Slash, or maybe he was scared of the Stone Edge, so that was a good play on his part to switch out. And knowing me, I probably would have went for the air slash because people do expect you to switch out on a Pokemon like Entei with Stone Edge that probably is banded or a Life Orb, or lefties that still can OHKO Moltres since it's 4 times a weak to it. So I go for the sub. Now, if I would have had Hidden Power and he would have, if I would have had Hidden Power Grass and he would have stayed in and did like a Waterfall and I would have outsped, I probably would have killed from this range because I'm specially offensive and he's not very specially defensive or defensive. Because Feraligatr is just not very strong on the defensive sides. Can't really take hits like that. That's why I don't use it, because you know it always, no matter what, lets me down and gets me mad. So I just decide not to use it. But I go for the Roar and actually make him switch out into Ninjade. And this was like the worst switching ever. He could have switched into like Moltres, I would have been fine with it. But this happened, and so he kills me off with the Stone Edge. And if he would have missed, I would have just went for like a substitute, I think. Or I either went for substitute or I went for Flamethrower, but I don't think the Flamethrower would have did a lot because Gallade is actually more especially bulky than physically bulky, so it's kind of bad when you have a Pokemon that could go both ways and do work both ways to certain Pokemon. So he withdraws his Ninjade and he switches out into his Druddigon. Now his Druddigon is asleep, and I didn't really think it was going to do anything this match, but it actually did more work than my Pokemon. Some of my Pokemon. For example, it did more work than Hariyama being awake. I don't really understand it. I don't. I love Druddigon's the set that it runs with the Rocky Helmet and the Rough Skin and the Dragon Tail. I love it. It's cool. I love that set. It's good, but I don't like going against it because it pretty much annihilates every single physical attacker. It does. If you have Life Orb or if you have Guts, then it's pretty much like a kill for that Druddigon. Which, I mean, it's good. It's a really good strategy because you don't have to use it. You don't have to send in other Pokemon. And Druddigon is a great Rocky Helmet Rough Skin user because it's Dragon type. So if you try to use like Giga Drain or a Fire move or Electric move, it wouldn't really do anything because it resisted. So it is a good poke. But it really is ugly and I hate it. So he dies from that close combat way back when. And he sends in his Glade. Now I used Ninja, or sorry, I was about to say I used Ninja Punch. I used Bullet Punch because I thought it was going to do more because he's not that physically bulky, but it obviously doesn't, and he kills me with the Zen Headbutt. Now I knew he sent in Gallade to kill me with the Zen Headbutt, so what I should have did was switched out into Murkrow, and then I should have like used Feather Dance so that his Stone Edge wouldn't do a lot, but that's not the case, and I go for the Shadow Ball here. Now he could have did the same on his side, and he could have sent in like Clefairy because Clefairy is normal type and it doesn't get affected by Ghost, so that was kind of cool. And he dies from the Shadow Ball. And if he would have sent in Clefairy before this turn, I'm pretty sure the match would have been way different. But he knows I'm Choice Scarf, so I have to switch out, and I go into Gaga's Wig because his Druddigon is dead, or fainted, sorry. And yeah, I could put this Clefairy to sleep, which is what I try and do. Now, here, I don't really know, after he uses this Heal Bell to get rid of Marcus's paralyzation, I don't know what he tries to do, but I guess he's just toying with me because he uses Protect. And then I go for the Sleep Powder, and I guess I would have hit that because it says you go for Sleep Powder, you know, but he's protected, so the Sleep Powder would have hit, finally, first turn this game. And yeah, so he goes for a Wish. Now, I'm thinking that he was thinking that I was going to go for a Giga Drain and I was going to take some of his health away, but that's not the case. Or a Lead Seed, and that's not the case either. But he goes for a Heal Bell again. I think he could have went for a Protect and then just been douchebag, and it would have been a turn longer, but he doesn't do that. And I go for the Sleep Powder here, but I get paralyzed, so I'm kind of mad that, you know, this is happening to me. A lot of hacks and hacks. So yeah, so I might just change Gaga's Wig to something else like hacks all day every day or something. I don't know, but I finally put his Pixie to sleep. So his Pixie being asleep is not very good for him because now he can't Heal Bell if I Thunder Wave, which is excellent because now I have pokes that could destroy like the rest of his team after Gaga's Wig. So he switches into Rotom and I switch into Shark Boy. Now I switched out because I knew he was gonna switch into Rotom and try and go for a Hidden Power Ice, but I was like, nah, that's not gonna happen. So I go for the Aqua Jet, and it kills off his Rotom. Now I think this crit like went 4 times instead of going twice, because I'm not sure if that mattered, but if it did, I'm sorry. But all those hacks, I mean, I deserve at least 1 crit. So he knows I don't really have anything to touch his Feraligatr or like Oko at like full range or whatever it is, like 2 health points taken away, whatever. So I'm gonna switch out into Gaga's Wig. Now he goes for a Swords Dance, and I'm kind of scared that he has Ice Punch, but I know I could have a +2 Ice Punch, so I'm not really worried at this point. I'm scared after he goes for the second one, because that's what he does right now. And I was thinking that, you know, +4 Ice Punch for Feraligatr has like 120 or 110 attack, something like that. But I thought he was gonna go for the Ice Punch, which is 2 times, not 1, but 2. And I go for the Giga Drain. Now this Giga Drain does a lot, and I was surprised that it did a lot because I have no special attack investment. But Feraligatr, as I said before, is really weak defensively. So he goes for a return, and that does absolutely nothing. I really thought that I had a lot of hacks here, but that was kind of hacksy. I don't know. I don't really know if that return really mattered, but a +4 return from a Feraligatr should hurt. But I guess not, because it was neutral damage, and I don't even know. I guess Tangrowth is just that bulky, and I actually kill it off with a Giga Drain. Now, I mean, after that return, if I would have got paralyzed again and I wouldn't have killed it off, he might have like switched up moves or something. Maybe he had like a crunch or something. Maybe that would have did more. +4 crunch. I don't even question. But he switches in Marcus, and he goes for the Fire Blast, but he actually misses. I finally avoid something, or finally I get the hacks, but he gets the hacks again, and now it's hacks like 101 here, because he goes for the Fire Blast again, and on that turn I actually went for Leech Seed, and if the Leech Seed wouldn't have hit, I would have been even more mad, because that would have just made no sense, and that would have meant that this game is just not meant for Tangrowth. This game wasn't really Tangrowth's thing. So as the game goes on, he kills me off with that Moltres Fire Blast, and that's a really strong Fire Blast, if you know what I'm saying. So he does that, and then he kills me off. Now I was thinking that I was faster than him, and I outsped him because he's Life Orb and he has like 90 speed and I have 98, and I thought I had max speed here, but I guess I don't, as you'll see later, or a couple of minutes into the game after this. But I go for the Waterfall, and this Waterfall does about 80%, and the only reason it does 80% is because this Clefable is his special wall and doesn't take physical hits as good, so it didn't take this one as good at all. It really didn't at all. Like, I don't even know if Druddigon would have took that well, because, you know, Basculin is just such a beast, right? So he predicted that I was going to use Aqua Jet and it wasn't going to do a lot, but I predicted that, and I went for the Waterfall, and I went for the Waterfall again here to kill off his Pixie. So now he can't wake up from his he can't wake up from his sleep and Protect, which is great for me. I mean, it's awesome for me. It's not great, it's awesome, because, you know, if he would have protected and wished and gave it something else, I would have been screwed. But here I find out that he's actually faster than me, and after the game I was like, yo, what's good with your Moltres, because he just outsped a 98 speed Pokemon, and I wasn't with that. So I checked it, and I didn't have max speed. I actually had max attack, which will change right after this game when, you know, I'm off screen, because I need max speed to outspeed Moltres now, because Moltres is such a big threat, and Basculin is like a big check to it. So yeah, and he kills, or no, sorry, I switch out into Herb and I T-Wave his Moltres, and I T-Wave his Moltres because I was like, I know he could kill me, but I definitely do not want to die somehow from like priority, which, you know, Moltres doesn't have priority, so I could have easily got the 1-0, or sorry, the 3-0 if I would have went for Aqua Jet with Basculin, but that's not the case. And just to make sure that he didn't outspeed in any way possible, I T-Waved him, just like, I wasn't trolling him or anything, so I did that, and then I switched into Rotom, and I Thunderbolted, and I get a crit. I definitely know that didn't matter, because Rotom is powerful, and Marcus isn't really defensive. He could take hits, but not very well, and it was super effective, plus stab, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's the game, guys, and I hope you enjoyed.